I'm Lolly, and today I would like to teach you about a really special person. She was very strong, very brave, very smart, like a lot of women are, a lot of girls. I've got a book about her. Let me grab it real quick. Here it is. Harriet Tubman, freedom fighter. She looks very brave, doesn't she? Looks like she's in a dark forest with some friends maybe helping them out. Let's find out a little bit about Harriet Tubman and what made her so special. There she is. Looks like she's running through the woods. Harriet Tubman was no ordinary hero. As a woman and a slave, she had no rights and was not taught how to read or write. None of that stopped her from leading many people to freedom. Let's find out a little bit more about her. Harriet Tubman was born enslaved in 1822. Wow, that's almost 200 years ago, in Maryland. Everyone in her family was enslaved. As a slave, Harriet could be sold like an animal or a house by a white slave master. That does not sound very nice, does it? Slaves had to work for no pay. Oh, many slaves lived and worked on small farms and plantations, and they were treated badly. I don't think I would like that, working really hard and not getting anything for it. We know her as Harriet Tubman, but when she was born, her name was Araminta Minty Ross. When Minty was a girl in the 1800s, slavery was no longer allowed in the northern states in America. But Maryland was a southern state. When Mary was 3, her sister, Mariah Riddy, was sold. And soon after that, Minty's sister, Lena, was sold too. They were taken away from their family. That must have been very scary for Harriet, don't you think so? And probably pretty scary for her sisters. Soon after, Minty was loaned out to work at the other plantations. Once she had to rock a baby all night so it wouldn't cry. If the baby cried, Minty was whipped. Oh no. Another time, Minty had to take muskrats out of a trap while wading in an icy marsh. Even though she was sick, Minty knew that slavery was wrong. As she grew older, she started to think about escape. How would you guys feel? Would you guys want to run away from that? I definitely would. It's not fair that people were treated like that at all. Let's see what Harriet did. One day, Minty went to the store. There she is in the store. Looks like something is happening. A slave master threw a heavy weight at a slave who was trying to flee. Instead, Minty was hit on the head. She fainted and she bled a lot. Poor Minty. Minty woke up weeks later, but this injury caused a disability. Minty had seizures and headaches for the rest of her life. Minty started having vivid dreams in which God gave her guidance. I wonder what those dreams are going to say. When Minty was a young adult, her slave master died. The slaves on his farm knew that they might be sold very far away. But they're getting worried about that too. For Minty, this meant that her family that she loved so much might be separated and never see each other again. Harriet Tubman, as she then called herself, and 2 of her brothers tried to escape, but they turned back because they knew the punishment would be huge. That would be a lot of bravery, right, to do that? And they decided not yet. Harriet decided to escape again. Look, there she is in the woods, running away. Alone and with no map, she prayed that God would lead her. Harriet traveled north through the Underground Railroad. Does anyone know what that is? Because when I think of railroads, I usually think of trains. But when you think about it, trains move people from one place to another. Do you think this had like little train cars too? Let's see. The Underground Railroad didn't have trains. It was a group of people, both black and white, who helped freedom seekers escape. So people who wanted to run away were helped by people from the Underground Railroad. Sometimes the help was a safe place to hide. Hiding places were called stations. The helpers were called conductors. There she is, finding a safe place. When Harriet got to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she was free. For months, she worked in the city. She missed her family, who were still slaves. So she saved all her money and used it to go back south to help free her family. That takes even more bravery. Can you imagine that? You escape and then you go back to help people who were still there. The trip south was dangerous. If found by slave catchers, slaves were returned to slavery, hurt, or killed. Despite the enormous danger, Harriet kept going back. There she is. Probably one of the bravest people I've ever read about. When the Fugitive Slave Act was passed in 1850, Philadelphia became too unsafe for Harriet and her family, so they went all the way to St. Catharines in Canada to live. There they go. But Harriet still returned to the United States to free more slaves. She moved by foot, boat, train, and wagon. She often wore disguises, and she was never caught. In 1861, the Civil War began between the North and the South. The North formed the Union Army and the South formed the Confederate Army. The Union Army fought to keep the United States from breaking apart. Let's see, there's the United States flag and there's the Confederate flag. So these people are from the South and these people are from the North. Wanting to help end slavery, Harriet signed up black men to be soldiers in the Union Army. She worked as a cook, a nurse, and a spy. Harriet freed slaves as the army moved. She even led a battle. Wow. When the war ended in 1865, slavery ended too. Harriet believed in freedom for all until the day she died. Look, there she is. She said, "I should fight for my liberty so long as my strength lasted." And if you have this book on the end, it shows the timeline, and there is a picture of the actual Harriet Tubman, one of the strongest, bravest, cleverest people I've ever read about. All right, I'm gonna put this book away. Can you guys help me? 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys so much for reading. I know that was a lot of story. And you know what, one of the cool things about it is Harriet Tubman was an actual person. I love reading stories about pretend things, but I also love learning about people who were actually around and did amazing things with their life. Makes me want to try to do some bigger, stronger, bolder, braver things. Do you guys ever want to be really brave? Let's see, one thing I guess that we could probably do is if we ever see anybody being bullied or mistreated, we can stand up and say, nope, that's wrong, you can't do that, right? That's one small way that we can do that, and it definitely takes bravery, right? Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed the book. I hope that you learned a lot about Harriet Tubman. Be awesome, and I will see you guys soon. See you later, alligators.